Yes, criminal fraud. Fraud that is illegal by statute, and may subject an offender to criminal penalties such as fines and imprisonment. An example is the willful evasion of taxes accomplished by filing a fraudulent tax return. Now, I know this criminal fraud, these RCWs of the state of Washington that say that you have to give the respondent, I'm sorry, Mr. Roberts, but your back pocket just got taken and you're going to fucking prison. Now, as an officer of the court, you've committed fraud on the court because you seem to think that I'm going to Western State Hospital and you're going to get a court order to administer psychotropic medication involuntarily. I'm going to sue Jefferson County. As an officer of the court, your fraud on the court is you have not represented the people of the state of Washington. Where's the evidence? You have an email, but you wouldn't allow me to see it? You require mental health evaluations where I was not present and my public defender was talking to the... Mr. Roberts, you're an officer of the court. You say that just because the Clallam County issues a protection order, it is valid when there's forgeries on it, when the evidence doesn't have the actual state seal, where it wasn't issued according to the RCW requirements of the state of Washington, where you had a court hearing 50 days after the temporary protection order, and you played the stupid fucking game that you won't go to prison as an officer of the court. Now, the fraud on the court is that prosecuting attorneys have been covering up for the fraud of Congress. Now, this criminal fraud is fraud that is illegal by statute. Each and every law of the state of Washington has to be enforced, inclusive of all due process protections. Poach. And for some dumb fucking reason, you just thought that I would just let you not go to prison for not representing the people of the state of Washington? Well, if you read it, I was not given any due process. If you read it, there's a forgery on there, but your copy doesn't have the state seal on it and doesn't have a copy. Well, I would say that's a fraudulent exhibit A. Now, why doesn't Jefferson County realize that each and every employee of the court is an officer of the court, and for any sheriff's deputy that happens to be the genetics of the judge, did Judge Landis donate some ovaries, and that's why you're such a fucking big asshole? Did you want to shoot me? Oh my gosh, Judge Landis has been donating her ovas so as to make big, bold sheriffs that don't ever talk about my mom because I will kick your ass. Is she really your mother? Now, I know. This petition for dissolution of marriage? Yes. I received a copy of that at the same time as arresting me. Yes, it was a wrongful execution of service. Can sheriffs actually serve somebody, or do you have to pay for service? Because if she didn't pay for it, it was a wrongful execution of service. You decided to allow for a motion for default and order for default when I did answer within the 90 days. Using the wrong signature and quite possibly a forgery of the actual signature of the petitioner that I happen to marry in Kosovo. For some stupid fucking reason, you can have all of this fraud, and then you think that you're putting me in a mess. Now, Sheriff, did you want to call your bull off? Judge Landis, you didn't donate any of your personal eggs to make sheriffs so that nobody would ever talk about you, did you? Well, see this decree of dissolution? Yes. Mail returned unclaimed. Yes. Mail returned unclaimed. Oh, I never got a copy of it. You gave the custody of my 5 sons to a woman that actually kidnapped them from Guam. And then you want me to have to... Every fucking sheriff in Jefferson County can go to prison if you got a problem with what I'm saying. Judge Landis, did you decide to donate any of your ovas? This criminal fraud of not enforcing the RCWs, the criminal fraud of allowing for forgeries and fraudulent use of state court seal, and the criminal fraud of issuing court orders without any due process. the Did you want to go to prison today?